Hello guys, time for another Comic Book Cafe. This time we're doing 0 Hour, issue number 4. Now this miniseries actually kind of backwards, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 instead of the other way around. This is 0 Hour Crisis in Time, because for those who don't know, the Crisis miniseries DC originally produced in the 80s caused a lot of story loopholes and continuously problems with DC, and for many miniseries they tried to fix this problem. But they never really did a good job of it until obviously they just recently rebooted all DC to fix this problem. But at the end of the day, 0 Hour Crisis in Time, here's the very first issue. So it starts off basically, this guy getting hunted down by the unknown bad guy. Saying, you can't hunt me down, basically I'm a god. And of course, he does, and it starts off with a big explosion at the end of time to start 0 Hour. So this is supposedly the end of time. And then here they show Darkseid, and then Metron comes to him saying, I've sensed that reality is unraveling itself, and Darkseid says, you must be silly. I would know if it was unraveling. So he goes, fine, I gotta find allies, I don't have time. Basically, he says, I gotta find allies, I just don't have time for you. And this scene, the Joker's run away, and Batgirl captures me like, this must be a joke. Batgirl can't walk, in the current DC universe. And then Batman and Robin show up and they're like, wait a minute, how can you walk? Something's not right here. And then Joker uses this as a way to plan his escape. And of course, he gets out. And they're wondering what's going on, what's amiss, And then here we are, back at the Time Guardians, home of the Time Guardians, the Linear Men. Outside Time Stream, they're seeing that something's wrong with time. Of course, there's Wave Rider. And so here we are in the 64th century with the Flash, of course, defeating a bad guy. And you're wondering, why are you making the sky all funny? And Wave Rider shows up. He goes, it's a good question, but it's not him. Basically, the only way to beat it would be to close the rift. And, in like a whiplash effect, they need somebody to go really fast. So the Flash starts to go really fast. And he keeps going faster and faster, and to the point where, he starts getting sucked in and he can't slow down. And Wave Rider tries to stop him, but it's too late. It's making him go faster and faster until, boom, a big explosion happens, and then the only thing left is the Flash's uniform. The second Flash to perish, basically. Unfortunately. So Wally, the Flash this time, is now gone. Well, up to this point he's gone. Let's just put it that way. Later on you'll see the rest of the Flash's story. There's Superman and Batman. Batman's like, even though I didn't call you, what are you doing here? And he's like, something's wrong. And Metron shows up. And so Wave Rider, he's now in the 57 AD, and then they find a young Hal Jordan trying to stop it, and this guy's like, yeah, we brought him here, but he's going to eventually, no matter what, he's going to fail, kind of thing. He's trying to put more energy into it, and Raider's like, this isn't going to work. And then, of course, last second there's an explosion, and both this guy and Hal Jordan are gone. And so what he does is he basically slips back into time with the Flash uniform to ahead of the explosion in the past, so that he doesn't get sucked into it. And then he sees this anomaly, which I wondered if that was the Flash or not. Not sure. We'll find out later. And then here's Hawkman fighting a guy, and all of a sudden there are several Hawkmen because of the time, distortion going on. Of course, here's, dude, and then here's the new current Green Lantern, Kyle at the time. And Superman and Metron show up, and so they use Metron's chair and Green Lantern's power together to broadcast a message to every superhero in the DC universe about what's going on, and they need their help. And then, of course, Green Arrow says, great, something else to worry about. But, it shows all the heroes, reacting to the message. And they're all like, what's going to go on? Nobody knows. And then, of course, Metron talks to, Tim, and of course, he doesn't want to help. He only cares about his own thing, typical for his character. I don't care about anything but the evil and the punished, and I don't care about what's going on. It's none of my business. So back at the, vanishing point, Wave Rider's confused with what's going on. He's trying to find, so he asks about this thing called Crisis, which the other guy told him earlier. When the other guy died with Hal Jordan, he said Crisis, and so he told it Crisis, and it shows him the Crisis, and he sees what happened during the Crisis, and he's like, no one else knew this but Legion up to this point. And so he's shocked. But no one else but this place knew about it but him now. So now he knows, he's got an idea of what's really going on. Now let's turn the page. And so here we are with Hawkman again with, of course, this Legion of Superheroes, the old guys. Alan Scott and Hawkman's, grabbing this guy who's like, who dies, because of time changing. And they're like confused what's going on, what to do. And then Wave Rider shows up with, of course, Wally's outfit and the original Flash. It's like, what are you doing with that uniform? And then he touches him and tells his mind what happens. He's like, Wally, not Wally too. He's really upset. Another Flash dies. And then at the end, you finally see the villain. His name is Extant, and he is a former villain from another series, which you'll find out about that as 0 Hour goes on. But this was a great issue, kind of leading to suspense. What's going on? All these major team changes in DC to try to fix a lot of the problems. But ultimately, we'll see what happens by the end of the series. So guys, that's all for now. Talk to you in another comic book soon.